This is Murder in the Morning with Tony Bruschi and Stacey Cole.
Hello, it is Stacey Cole and Carol Hughes. Carol filling in for Tony this week. We've got more horribleness for you to start your day. Yuck. This one hits me hard. I was a firefighter for a year. Something that I wanted to do. I've always wanted to do it. I wanted to do it because all the boys could do it. I kind of noped out of it after a year. Like, it was where I worked. We saw a lot of going into nursing homes and helping with lift assist.
Oh,
so
yeah.
if somebody fell, the nursing home typically wouldn't, they're not legally able to, in some cases, to pick up somebody. They would have to have a paramedic or a firefighter, EMT. So that's kind of what I spent a lot of time doing. I saw some horrific car accidents, couple of house fires, but it just constant trauma. And this story that we're talking about has to do with fire and arson. It's out of Chicago. A 23-year-old Chicago man, Lontray Clark, has been charged with multiple counts of murder and arson after allegedly setting fire to an apartment building in the Austin neighborhood in Chicago on June 26, 2025. So this is just a few weeks ago. A blaze resulted in the deaths of 4 individuals, including a pregnant woman and her 5-year-old son, and left several others injured. According to prosecutors, Clark became enraged after discovering that his ex-girlfriend was dating his friend. After seeing a photo of the couple on social media, Clark allegedly purchased gasoline and materials to create a Molotov cocktail, which he used to ignite the apartment building. The entire building. Not just her, the whole building.
I can't even, I get being mad. We've all been scorned at some point or another in our lives. We've all
You're
been
funny,
there.
Carol.
you know, girl. But like, I'm just going to light up the apartment building on fire.
Yeah, this personally, we don't get into a whole lot of personal stuff, but this one's hitting me hard because I'm moving. I've lived in a house for 20 years, and in the last 2 weeks, I discovered that I need to leave immediately. Not based on anything I did. I'm just going to say that. And I'm moving into an apartment. So, if there's an ex of somebody there that they're pissed, they're going to light the whole place on fire. Me and my cats, we're subject to somebody else's life decisions.
Yeah.
These
were innocent people. Had nothing to do with any of this.
Yeah. The fire broke out at 1:50 a.m., trapping residents inside the building. The victims who perished in the fire were identified as Brad Cummings, age 76, an editor of the Austin-based newspaper The Voice; Regina Henry, 32, who was 3 months pregnant, and her 5-year-old son; and then Jayceon Henry and Regina's sister, Destiny Henry, age 28. Destiny's 4-year-old son, Kyle, was critically injured and remains hospitalized. Clark's ex-girlfriend and her new boyfriend, who were the apparent targets of the attack, they managed to escape the blaze by climbing out of a window. Now, Clark was arrested in Springfield, Illinois, and is being held without bail. He faces multiple charges, including 8 counts of murder, 4 counts of aggravated arson, 2 counts of attempted murder, and 1 count of residential arson. Community members and families of the victims have expressed grief and outrage over the incident. Reverend George Smith Jr., a relative of the Henry family, stated that he took precious lives from us and justice will be served. Not only did the fire kill people, but it displaced at least 28 residents and required the response of 140 firefighters.
Think
of that.
Huge.
140.
This was a huge fire.
Now, when I worked for the fire service, we would have 4 people on. Typically a paramedic, the fire chief or deputy chief would be there. And then either an EMT firefighter or a paramedic firefighter. We had 4 people. If there was a fire, they'd put out the call for all others to come in. But typically, a big fire might call in other companies from other surrounding areas, but you're probably talking 30 people at maximum. 140 is a massive inferno.
Well, think about, the number of people who were killed. 28 residents are displaced. I don't know how many units were in this building, but it sounds like it could have been 20 apartments. And because I can't imagine anyone can stay in there just from the smoke damage alone. No. Everybody, everybody's belongings were damaged. So now there's,
absolutely.
On top of this horrific loss of life, there are people who have to start over for no reason.
For no reason. Nothing they did wasn't accidental. It wasn't bad, faulty wiring. It wasn't lightning strike. This was some asshole.
Yeah, and a mother and her son. These people are gone forever, and their families will never be the same, all because this guy's pissed off and just lights the whole building on fire with no regard. And it's like, okay, I get it. You're pissed because she's moved on with your friend. Get it. This guy just forfeited the rest of his life, plus killing people along the way. He's not ever going to get out of prison.
No. So
when he could have just
to give up your whole life, because you are giving up your life. You will get caught. He was caught. Just move on. I know you're angry. Just move on. And
thank God he was caught.
Else, you psycho.
Because as soon as if he wasn't caught and he realized that the two of them got out, he'd be going after him again.
Oh, yeah, he would.
And that was just no disregard for anyone. Like, he just didn't care. I'm so mad. I'm going to light that whole building on fire.
That's a pretty psychotic person.
I can't wrap my brain around that one.
That's incredibly psychotic, that I don't care who I take down with me. I'm taking everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just done. I'm going to take everyone. I mean, that's a mental break of some sort, but it sounds like this guy just, I don't know. You know what it reminds me? And this sounds terrible and selfish, but it reminds me I need to get renter's insurance.
Yes, you do. Yes, that is a really, really good idea. And I will guarantee you a bunch of these people did not have renter's insurance.
I guarantee it. And, when you live in an apartment building, most of them have sprinklers. So, yes, everything in that apartment building was probably trashed because, either the sprinklers or the smoke damage causing issues.
Poor woman and her 5-year-old son were killed.
Yeah.
All because this guy's pissed off.
Again, you could be standing next to that person at the gas station pumping gas going, cool.
Yeah, and the guy's there getting gas. You think he's getting gas for his lawnmower. No, he's going to light up an apartment building.
Oh, dear God.
I can't even wrap my brain around it.
That's great. And I have a quarter tank of gas I'm going to have to fill up soon. Thanks.
Look around.
You're locked into the Hidden Killers podcast.
Want more? Start binging on all of our true crime podcasts right now through Apple Podcasts and get an ad-free experience when you sign up to be a True Crime Today Premium Plus member exclusively on Apple Podcasts.
More of the Hidden Killers podcast dropping soon.
Press subscribe now.